Morning again from Greens with Envy Homestead. Talking about dispatching yard birds. We had last fall I bought 20 plus pullets at a sale. I think I gave $1 a piece for them. And my theory was, well, what ain't hens can make dumplings. So that's what this fella is. You got too many roosters, it's so stressful on your hens that they'll stop laying, they'll stop this, stop that. You lose all the feathers off their back. Bigger roosters can really do them some damage. I've got in an earlier video, I called her Gimpy because she was limping on one leg. Somehow her leg got injured. All right, moving along. That's the reason why we're getting rid of them. We don't need roosters. Good timing there, buddy. You're gonna be next in the pot. So, not going to tell you the brand, but we've all heard of pellet nugs. I stole that line from Green Greg's. You just spell it backwards. That way you don't get flagged. So pellet nugs. They're not real good. Well, some of them are if you want to go spend a bunch of money, but I paid $5 for mine. We went, doesn't matter. Bought it at a garage sale, $5. They didn't think it worked. Somebody had started restoring it, stripping down the wood and everything. Worked great. I lubricated it, cleaned it. Still works great. Here's proof. What's nice about it is they're silent. Makes about the same amount of noise as a pellet gun. So, I mean, as a BB gun. The ammo is relatively cheap. I don't know about again the newer ones, but my nug, I wouldn't try to take it squirrel hunting because squirrels have pretty tough hides, and I wouldn't want to just injure one. Especially if it wandered off and then died, and then it's just possum bait. So what I'm going to get into this morning is what do you do after you've dispatched one? The old timers. So here's the clue. It's probably been a year or two since I've cleaned one, and so just about everything I do is from memory, what was taught to me from my parents or grandparents. The old timers, after they dispatch them, they immediately go into the feather plucking mode. Yep, it's a pain in the butt. But the trick is, while the skin is still warm, the body's still warm, start plucking right then. Because when it gets colder, the feathers are a lot harder to get off. So the smaller extremities, like the wings, you want to start with them first. You see, I kind of stopped right there at the wing. To me, I like wings, but is it worth doing all the work to pull the feathers off the wings? And there's such, maybe a tablespoon of meat on the wing. So to me, it's not worth it. In real rough times, or in poor countries, like we're fixed to be, people use, we all know the culture that eats the legs. And so when times get tough, we may be eating wings, we may be eating necks, we may be eating feet, because it's going to be part of our staple. So getting back to the plucking, get the extremities first, trying to get all your feathers off them first, because those are the first things that's going to cool off. And if you're going to do more than one, which I'm not today. I don't have time. My plan is just do one a day. Is get you a big boiling pot of water. After you've dispatched them, dunk the, you're basically blanching the chicken with its feathers on. And when you do that, you're not cooking the skin, but you're loosening up, is it a feather follicle? I know it's a hair follicle. Anyway, you're basically loosening that up and making it easier to pull off. So, I'm not too far from having this thing completely plucked. But once you get it completely plucked, then you start cleaning out the innards. You start by removing the head, letting it bleed out, and once you've done that, generally by the time you hang it up by its legs and start the process, there's not much of that red stuff in a chicken, so it doesn't take long. And there's other videos you can learn how to dress out a chicken, but basically I hope you've had some parents or grandparents or an elderly person that can teach you the old ways, how they did it before. We had cell phones. In fact, you're probably watching this on a cell phone. But the world's fixed to change. Fixed to change quick, people. Hope you got your gardens. Hope you got some of these. We got some rabbits. We got a bunch of pets. All I'm going to say about that. But anyway, this guy's about to go in the... Something that's remarkable. This guy's about to go in the freezer. Something's remarkable. Once you take the feathers off, they look just like the next chicken. Keep that in mind, you racist pigs. Take the feathers off and we're all the same color. So get over it. We're all chickens. We're all of the same species. Hey, I appreciate this. This has been more of a rambling video than anything. I probably didn't teach you much, but I hope you're aware of what's going on. Be aware of your surroundings. From what Mr. Pootmeister is threatening, we've had plenty of warning, you know. You can't just keep poking a bear and expect nothing's going to happen. He's warned us to mind our own damn business. I'm not getting into what's right and what's wrong. My concern is, what is the Pootmeister going to do to the United States? I was raised up in fact, every year that I went to school, the Vietnam War was going on. I knew that's where I was going when I got out of school. That was going to be my high school field trip, whatever you call it. Fortunately, they started bringing troops back. I didn't have to go. I had 3 or 4 uncles, several cousins that did serve over there. I was very well prepared. I come from a military family on both sides, and be very proud. In fact, doing our genealogy, our family can be traced to some of the first founding Sons of Liberty, Sons of Revolution, and then on the other side of the family, it's Native American. So defending defending yourself and defending. It's getting way too out of hand. This was about picking chickens. So, hey, man, look at that feather duster, would you? Anyway, I'm about there. This is going, that's going, and these are going. 2 wings. And then we're going to start with putting this thing in the freezer. Try to remember when you're putting it in the freezer for storage. Maybe long term, maybe a day or 2. So pack it up, stack it up, and hopefully we'll just need it as we go. You can can these things. You can can any kind of meat. A little more in depth as far as keeping it safe. But hey, we can do it. We can do it. It's already been a half-hour video, and I'm sitting here plucked on this bird way too long. Let me start shopping the next one in line. So, hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit that notification bell. Ding, ding, ding.